Okay, hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is going to be a mono black devotion video. We're going to be covering the cards that we have inside the deck first, which is Duress, 2 of them, Feed the Swarm, 2 of them, Trespasser's Curse, which is also 2, 3 of the Yarok Svenlurker, 2 Inscriptions of Ruin, 4 Murderous Riders, 2 Underworld Dreams, 2 of the Witch's Vengeance, 1 Extinction Event, 3 Phyrexian Obliterators, 2 Rituals of Sit, 2 Torment of the Scarabs, and then 4 of Grey Merchant, or as he's commonly known, Gary, 1 Soul Hunter Rakasha, or Raksha, Soul Hunter, Bad Deal, and then we have our 2 Castle Lochthwains. You could throw 4 in there. I only have 2 because, as you can see up here, I'm a broke bitch. So all this is working up towards the devotion counter for Gary to come in and drop heavy damage over the top, but it also acts really well as kind of a pseudo control. So everything inside of it is kind of making sure that, one, they're not getting a huge advantage on board presence, and currently with the meta of the angels, the goblins, and the elves, Ritual Sit is huge, Witch's Vengeance is huge, and it just helps keep those down. In the meantime, if we don't have that in our hand, but we have Trespasser's Curse go ahead and allows us to gain life every time, or gain life and them to lose life every time that a creature is coming in to the battlefield. So at least we're getting a little cushion until we can hit one of our huge removals that go ahead and get rid of everything. So as far as removal goes, though, you're going to want to use the Witch's Vengeance if there's a lot of anything that's under 3 out there at the moment. And then you're going to want to use Ritual Sit to get rid of the 3 mana cost. Kind of knowing when to use each one is important to the deck, because you only have 1 Extinction Event, and the 1 Extinction Event should be to clean up with whatever these couldn't hit. I also really like Torment of Scarabs. I've flirted with the idea of having 4 in the deck. The issue with that is at a 4 cost, it's not really convenient to us. Maybe if we were playing something where we had a little more access to ramp, it would make more sense. So I only put 2 in here, but it's the same thing as Terragrid's Lantern. At the beginning of Enchanted Player's upkeep, the player loses 3 life unless they choose to sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. So that's in there. Again, the deck is meant to be kind of pseudo control, with Gary going over the top to bop him on the head, and then Phyrexian Obliterator to present an actual threat to highly aggressive decks that usually rely on damage as removal. Against control decks, this actually works out really well. So we're going to hop into some games here, and then I'm going to show you how it plays. Again, if you're looking at the deck. Cool. Sorry. I was drinking coffee earlier, so I fucking either caught some coffee or I just ate a nap from one of my plants. So the way I always look at these is I'm making decks kind of based on what suits my play style. If you at any point see something that you think would be better in the deck, by all means feel free to add it and remove whatever you feel is unnecessary. Also, if you feel like you have a nice way to tune the deck, feel free to drop it in the comments. I'm sure other people would love to see other people's takes on mono black devotion. I did read a few articles from Channel Fireball, as well as watch a couple other videos where people were doing mono black devotion. Phyrexian Obliterator is kind of like a huge thing because of how many black pips he gives towards the devotion. Personally, I like Yarok's Svenlurker. I know a lot of other people were using different things for their 2 slots, but for me, in the 2 slot, Yarok is kind of huge because what he does by exiling a card, when they have to choose to get rid of it, it's gone. It's gone from the game. And it's usually one threat you don't have to. Right here, he's gonna, of course, he's gonna probably do a forest, seeing as he's kind of rampy. He's extremely rampy, actually. He's got a Leafkin Druid, Llanowar Elves, and we're going to go ahead and actually just put all the dots on him, because we're not really seeing anything too aggressive just yet. But I know he's probably fishing in Simic for something like Coma, or something to actually help him establish more of a board. But currently just looking like he's trying to ramp, and whatever he has in his hand is not what he wants in his hand. We've already got a 10 Gary that we're going to go over the top with here. You know what? We're going to throw down one more Phyrexian Obliterator. The next Gary is going to be a knockout punch. And he's either going to have to take 3 here to the face, or he's going to have to choose to sacrifice one of his mana dorks. He's going to just take it to the face. Even better for us. We are all tapped down. Still not a problem. He's going to hit us with, what, the 8 over the head? But, I mean, we got 24 life. We're okay. So, this is good games. Oh, it's not good games. Oh, we don't have the extra mana. Oh my god. I have a 12 power Gary chilling in the lap here. Why? Why didn't he? Oh my god. No, sir. You had it. I messed up first. You didn't need to be cautious. He could have killed us there. Because he gained control of it. No. Oh, I'm sorry. Summoning sickness. Wow. Okay. That feels equally as bad as us thinking we were going to win without the extra black mana, and then having to wait through that turn and hold our breath because momentarily we got cocky. We were pretty sure we had it. But yeah, so that's how this plays. So we were able to, you know, keep a little check on him with the Trespasser's Curse. Then we had to make him think about his next moves, whether he wanted to discard, he wanted to sacrifice, or he wanted to take damage to the face. And that is pretty much exactly how you want it to work out. And that, like I said, Mono Black Devotion also feels a little bit like Mono Black Control. So you want to play it at your pace. I've seen Mono Black Devotion be highly aggressive. To be fairly honest, I for some reason just don't do well playing aggro. Mono G ramp is one of my favorite things to play if I am going to play aggro, and even that has a little more of a controlling aspect in some circumstances, as far as like you're always trying to hit Ugin and then you're trying to drop Ulamog and start like kind of wading through the waters of what you want to do. Okay, so this guy is definitely gonna be a rat colony deck. We're gonna get rid of his murder. We have Ritual of Soot. Definitely don't mind dropping Ritual of Soot on a bunch of the rats, especially if that's his whole entire game plan. But as we can see, he's got really low card count already. He's got low mana. So we're going to go ahead and drop in Phyrexian Obliterator. And we're going to make it so that he doesn't want to attack us. And the Phyrexian Obliterator right now purely is going to be a pause. Because he doesn't want to come swinging into us. He's going to have to sacrifice 2 things to the Phyrexian Obliterator. He wants to get his rats up, which is going to make his rats stronger. My god, we got the fucking second one. So he's not going to want to swing in, right? He's searching hard for a murder right now, which is fine. We want him to kind of throw out all the rats. Perfect. This is beautiful. So we don't even have to use Ritual of Soot right here. My man did it for us. He's going to have to sacrifice all this. So this is really good for us because we know he is a rat colony deck. And we're going to get to hang on to our rituals. So we're also going to just hit Swain right there. Ooh. Another swamp. We got a Murderous Rider in hand. We got a ritual set. So we're not too worried about that. We're just going to throw Murderous Rider out there, knowing that we have the ritual to lower our cost on Castle Locthwain. Even better, we found Gary. And he's just going to quit, yeah. Sweet. So exactly what I said. We're controlling the game. We're making their game plan fit our game plan, and our game plan is just to really ramp our devotion while keeping their side of the board pretty clean so that we could just over the top with Gary. And you will sometimes get matches where people do just quit like that because they realize that they're probably not going to get things in their hand. Other things you might want to think about is Hodin's Shrine. So this one, Hodin of the Night's Reach, is really good too in this kind of circumstance. You could also throw Terragrid in here as your caps. Like you could get rid of Soul Hunter, throw in Terragrid, maybe drop another Gary and add another Terragrid in there, because they are discarding so much and they are getting rid of cards from their hand through the discards, through you doing your sacrifices with the Phyrexian Obliterator. There is a little bit of that engine there. If you wanted to make that engine just a little bit stronger, you could add the Hodin of the Night's Reach Shrine. You could also add the Sanctum of Stonefangs, so you can make them discard 2 times every time, and you'll get 2 life every time. That's kind of helpful. This deck does really, really well gaining life offhand passively through the Garys and then our Murderous Riders, because I've definitely gotten low against mono red before and still managed to hold it off just by those 2 alone. So Sanctum of Stonefangs, not exactly necessary, but if you were going to do the Night's Reach for the discard, the extra discard, it is nice because it's a bonus card and it's 2 life too. So still nothing to sneeze at. So this is another option you could do, again, the Terragrid. And if you don't know who Terragrid is, which would kind of be hard to believe, she's kind of, I misspelled this. It's Tegrid. That's what it is. I say it wrong all the time. No, I'm just stupid. All right, let's see. She's like all the way back here. She's a 5 cost. There we go. Terragrid. Yeah. So you could have Terragrid there as well. With doing that too, if you add 2 more into the deck, it's kind of like 2 more Torment of the Scarabs. You could go ahead and add those in there as well. Or you could just add 2 more Torment of the Scarabs, to be honest. It's kind of your choice. But whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So again, with all the discarding going on, that could be a great addition if you wanted to go over the top. Personal favorite for me is Massacre Girl. I do switch Soul Hunter out and put 1 Massacre Girl in there and get rid of 1 Soul Hunter, because what Massacre Girl can do to an elf deck or a goblin deck is essentially just a board wipe, really. So you could go ahead and add that in there if you'd like. That's really good. And that is it for the Mono Black Devotion video. I'll be trying to do more of these in the future. I usually stream. YouTube is kind of a newer thing to me as far as focusing on. We're going to be trying to get all the way back into Mythic. We made Mythic the last 3 seasons, since we've actually been playing and focusing a little bit more on this. And yeah, so if you guys would like to, go ahead and subscribe. If you're looking for more content like this, I will put links down below to my stream. I tend to play a little bit more mellow like this. I used to play first-person shooters, and this, I don't know, Magic since I was a little kid was always fun to me. And now as a 31-year-old man, I get to play it online, which is even better. So if you'd like to subscribe, go ahead, subscribe. If you want to follow me on Twitch, I'll go ahead and put my Twitch links below. I'm also on Twitter, but I have a very low presence on Twitter, just because the whole nexus of social media and negativity is something I try to steer clear of. Again, if you have any comments on how we could make the deck better, feel free to drop them below. Any friendly communication to make another Magic player better or help them out is always appreciated. Thank you so much and have a wonderful